final day of the Punchestown Festival. Hard to believe that it's almost over, but we've got 8 races on the card here this afternoon, and SBK, our official betting partner for this afternoon. 2 Grade 1s, Dave Jennings. We'll start with the first of them, the Mayor's Champion Hurdle, which gets underway at 3:42. Is it a one-horse race here with brighter days ahead?
No, it's definitely not a one-horse race anyway. If you were to look at if you haven't looked at the market in the last 24 hours, you're going to get some shock, because this time yesterday, Brighter Days Ahead was 2-5. Now you can get 5-4 about Brighter Days Ahead. She's odds against Jade de Grugy. Obviously, the Mullins battalion have been in terrific form all week, and Jade de Grugy is now edging towards joint favouritism at the moment. 6-4 Jade de Grugy, and a shade of odds against Brighter Days Ahead. Look, it's just a week that's in it. It's Willie, it's Punchestown, and punters just can't get enough of Clive Sutton here. I still think ability-wise, there's no comparison between Brighter Days Ahead and Jade de Grugy. Obviously, the Champion Hurdle didn't go to plan. They went for the jugular. It didn't happen. But put it this way, if Brighter Days Ahead hadn't have ran in the Champion Hurdle, and I know she did, so that's a stupid thing to say, but if she hadn't ran in the Champion Hurdle, she'd be 2-7 today. She'd be coming in on the back of that unbelievable win at Leopardstown at Christmas. I know Stateman wasn't himself that day, but she's just a better filly than Jade de Grugy, and I think if you're getting 5-4 about Brighter Days Ahead today, I know this is Willie's playground, and I know it probably hasn't been a brilliant week for Gordon, but he still won a Grade 1 the other day with Tihupu. He still had 2 winners yesterday, so I'm very much in the Brighter Days Ahead camp. I'm still a believer, Brendan.
Was that just a blip at Cheltenham for her?
Yeah, look, just from chatting to Gordon, like he said, he wasn't happy when she passed the winning post the first time, and he thinks she probably tweaked something early in the race. I like the fact that they were considering Aintree for her. It means that she obviously bounced back to herself pretty quick. I'd say she probably is better going left-handed, but she did win the Morgiana here. She did beat Stateman in the Morgiana as well, don't forget that. And I just come back to ability. I just think she's more talented than Jade de Grugy, and they're almost joint favourites at the moment. So yeah, I'm a Brighter Days Ahead fan.
Ross, what are you thinking on this particular one? Are you a Brighter Days Ahead fan?
No, I think I'd be against her initially at the early prices. I like Jade de Grugy at the early prices. I'm slightly cooler now. I would slightly disagree with DJ in that the Morgiana form, I go back to that, and I think Stateman picked her up very, very easily and then got tired, and she came back. She's 161, she's a stone better than these unofficial ratings, but I'm just not sure I believe the 161. You know, that Leopardstown race Stateman bombed out. It's too bad to be true. And I again, take a different view with the fact they were considering Aintree and they didn't go there. That to me says that perhaps she didn't quite please them enough. They think she tweaked something in the race. She then got broadsided at the last as well. Well, if she's tweaked something, got broadsided, I just think physically it might be a big ask to come back. So having also had to get her geared up to go 2-mile pace, she's got to settle and do 2-mile 4 here. Initially I was Jade de Grugy. I might look at July Flower now. I backed her at Cheltenham, was disappointed with her, and I just wonder whether she perhaps didn't come down the hill. We've seen this week a Rancy, Final Demand. Perhaps both didn't come down the hill in their respective races at Cheltenham. Different topography here, the hill is earlier, race uphill on the homeward turn. If July Flower was a price, I'd perhaps chance her and happily watch Jade de Grugy and Brighter Days Ahead battle it out if I'm wrong.
Okay, interesting there. It's a 6-horse race. It's certainly going to be an interesting one. It's the first of our Grade 1s, and that'll be getting underway at 3:42. Our second Grade 1 and the final Grade 1 of the Punchestown Festival will be coming up at 4:50. It is the Ballymore Champion 4-year-old, a Grade 1 hurdle. Can Nicky Henderson's mount make it a good way to round off the Punchestown Festival here in Lulamba?
Yeah, Lulamba, yeah. He needs a pick-me-up. Nicky needs a hug, and hopefully Lulamba can give Nicky a hug today. I think Lulamba is the best juvenile hurdler in training, to be honest with you. Now, there's different opinions here, and I haven't spoke to Ross before, and Ross is a brilliant judge, so I'm interested to know what he thinks after I speak my waffle. But there's two views here, right? You can either say Lulamba and East India Dock went at it from the second last in the Triumph Hurdle, and then Poniros just picked up the pieces because Poniros was ridden just to kind of have a nice experience, first start over hurdles, just come in from the field a few weeks previously, let's see what we have, and then he picked up the pieces. And that's the way I kind of think. I think Lulamba was probably, if you run that race 10 times, he probably wins it 7 or 8 times, whereas Poniros probably only wins it to once. And then the other line of, I suppose, the other piece of evidence from people that fancy Poniros would be, well, do you know what? How much improvement is there to come from Poniros? I remember I was chatting to Gary O'Brien, who's obviously probably the best judge in Irish racing, and he really fancies Poniros because he thinks there's tons of improvement to come. I don't. I think Lulamba, the fact that he's here, he is a gorgeous horse. He blew me away, I have to say, when he won at Ascot. I know the form hasn't worked out well with Mambo Man, but to me, he looks like a horse we'll be talking about for years to come. I think he's a star of the future. Whether he's good enough to come back from Cheltenham and win today, we'll see. But you're getting a hell of a price. Like, I thought, when I seen that he was definitely running, I thought he'd be 11-8 or 6-4. You're getting 9-4 now. I think that's too big. I think Lulamba is going to give Nicky that hug that he so badly needs.
Poniros was 100-1 when he won the last day. He's certainly never going to be that price again, is he?
No, it was obvious in hindsight, wasn't it? I think DJ's right in everything he says. I'd be certain Lulamba's going to be the best of these in years to come. I would be certain over a fence, and I'd suspect over a bit of a trip further than this as well. I worry about the ground being a bit lively. A long season, you know, he's got to have held his form. But I don't think that Poniros was a fluke at Cheltenham. He was green enough early. His jumping wasn't particularly fluent, so you could mark him up for an upgrade on that basis alone. Then it's his first experience. By all accounts, he'd only come in from the field 3 days before he ran at Cheltenham. So, you know, there's loads and loads of opportunity for him to improve. So I don't think it was a fluke. Yes, Lulamba and East India Doc got racing early enough, but I think that probably would have seen Lulamba to best effect because he hasn't got a kick of speed. He dragged it out of them, and still Poniros came and picked him up. So I like Poniros, but at a bigger price, I'd chance Mercia. I think she was really good at Aintree. Willie said that the weight in the Fred Winter at Cheltenham was what did for her. I backed her then. I'll follow her again now. 141 official rating with the fillies allowance. I think it puts her close. It's just if she can go from Cheltenham, Aintree, Punchestown. We know that's tough to do, but we know that Willie does tough things days in, days out. So at the prices, I think I'd go with her and have a bit of a swing.
Probably a good tough filly, and as you say, Willie's a genius at running him at these different festivals and bringing them back and still winning grade ones.
Absolutely, time and time again. You know, I sort of look at it from my meat knowledge of horses and say, well, I think that's tough for them to do. And every time you think that, he just shows you how stupid you are to think it, and he can do whatever he puts his mind to.
Very good. We're going to start with the opening race on the card. It's the cross-country chase. And we're going to just take the best bets from the remaining races. But Dave Jennings, there's a load of non-runners in here.
There is, yeah. Bit of a change in the market here. Non-runners, right, deep breath. Cocoa Beach is out, Reed to Return is out, Peaches and Cream is out, Vanillier is out, the Goffer's out, 3x2, the Reserve is out, Stelty Tom is out, and Busselin, of course, your Latouche winner is out. So we've 8 non-runners in the first race. And all that means, I think, that Chemical Energy is one of the best bets of the day. It's hard to believe the distance he was beaten. If you stopped the cross-country chase at Cheltenham turning in, or even 50 yards before the last, you'd say, God, he's going to get really close. And he just didn't get home over that extreme trip. Back in trip here today, I just think the ground, like he's going to absolutely adore this ground. To me, obviously Conflated in his heyday would absolutely murder these, but Conflated, you know, he's been around the block a long time. He's a multiple grade 1 winner. I just think he's probably, I didn't like him when he ran on the cross-country track at Cheltenham. I just didn't think he enjoyed himself. I know he's schooled over it loads of times and apparently he loves it. But for me, Chemical Energy travelled beautifully through the race at Cheltenham, and I think if he reproduces that, I think he'll win. I think he's one of the best bets of the day, Chemical Energy.
What about Vital Island, of course, was good here on the Thursday.
What a legend. What a legend. He's as old as we are and just keeps coming back. And you know, there was a stage there the other day where I actually thought he was going to win. He just seems to be getting better with age. But you know, it'd be a great story, and Barry Stone, obviously Cheltenham Festival winning jockey, it'd be great for him as well to round off what has been a superb season for him. But I just, every time I go through the race, I keep getting drawn back to Chemical Energy, and I think he'll win.
We need a bit of energy today.
You're actually, for a man that hasn't stopped talking all week, you're fresh as a daisy.
I don't feel
you
it.
Must be
I
in the
don't
spa
feel
every
it.
morning,
Oh yeah, every morning at 6 o'clock.
Getting your manicures.
Shoveling SH1T at 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's family day, Brendan.
I tell you, it does a lot for you. Ross, as in, what are you leaning towards in this one?
I'm stopping the recorder at the same time as DJ at Cheltenham, but not Chemical Energy, French Dynamite. I think he absolutely loved that experience. He probably raced a bit keen, he definitely didn't get home, He's a winner over this track, conventional fences 3 miles. I think he'll love this trip, and I think he really enjoyed the test of jumping the cross-country race. I agree with DJ about conflated. I think cross-country racing is about quick footwork and thinking, and I just don't think he's a fan of doing that at racing pace. So I'd be against him. I respect Chemical Energy, but I really quite like French Dynamite. I'm disappointed that the price is shortened because it'd be my selection whether they all stood their ground or not.
Yeah, most would like to have a winner here at Punchestown. If we look at the best bets on the rest of the card, I know the Pat Taff race is always it's a really good contest. It's a listed contest. Can JP McManus get another winner in there and Mark Walsh?
I like that's the 305. I actually, that's one of my strongest fancies of the day. I like the short go for Rachel Blackmore and Henry de Bromhead. I think in the Ultima, travelled beautifully through the race, just made 3 absolutely desperate errors, and I think if he made 2 he probably would have finished second or third, but he made 3, and the way he still came home after making those errors, I thought it was a terrific run. I think he's still really well handicapped the short go, so I'd be pretty keen on him in the 305. We spoke about Brighter Days Ahead. In the 415, that listed handicap chase, Canal End obviously is going to be very, very interesting here. Didn't get into the Irish National, missed the Bet365 Gold Cup. I think he's got a cracking chance in that 415. And the 450 we spoke about, but in the 525, the 2.5 mile listed handicap hurdle, the horse who interests me here is Calix de la Barriere. Now, Willie Mullins did something very similar a couple of years ago with Mr. Adjudicator in this race. Mr. Adjudicator ran an absolute shocker at Fairyhouse, came back here a week later and won this race. And the reason I remember this is thinly veiled, I won the Irish Field Naps table, but the reason I remember that is because I napped Mr. Adjudicator here that day, and I think he won a 20 or 25 to 1 because he didn't really have a hard race. He accepted the situation in Fairyhouse, and it was a similar story with Calix de la Barriere in Fairyhouse. Paul Townend completely accepted the situation at the third last, didn't have a hard race, back on better ground over 2.5 miles. You got to remember, Calix de la Barriere beat Shullin, Paddy Toomey's really good filly, in a bumper in Ballinrobe. I think you'll see a different horse today. It's 20 to 1 last night. I thought that was a huge price.
Did you take a bit of it?
I did.
Yeah, well done. Ross, anything for you that we should be thinking about?
Same 2 races, 2 different horses, so make of that what you will. The 305, I really like Answer to Cafe. I've been waiting for him to step up in trip. I wasn't envisaging 4 miles. I thought he was 3 miles, was crying out for it. I think he was just in top gear in the Jack Richardson the whole way. But I think he's a better chaser than he was hurdler. And the fact there's been loads of opportunities they could have run him in 3 mile chases all week, and they go 4 miles, I think that suggests they're pretty confident he'll stay. He stayed 3 miles in a graded hurdle a couple of years back on desperate ground, staying on. I think 4 miles for him. I really like him. And then a bit further down the card, I think it's the 525. 525. I really like Jazzy Matty here.
Why?
I just think this trip's going to bring about more improvement. Kean Collins has definitely improved from Gordon Elliott. That takes a bit of doing. Thought he was really good in the Grand Annual, but it was a strongly run race. It played to his stamina. He's £10 lower over hurdles than he was winning off that mark of 135 at Cheltenham. He went to Fairyhouse. I thought he shaped pretty well over an inadequate 2 miles. I think he just looked like he wanted a little bit further. And yes, he weakened, but I think that was because he just raced a little bit inefficiently, trying to keep tabs on them. He stayed 2 mile 5 over fences. He'll definitely stay this trip. I really like the trainer, and he'll love the ground, so he'd be mine.
Nap of the day for you?
Let's go Mercia.
Mercia. Dave Jennings?
At the prices now, it's got to be Brighter Days Ahead at odds against, but I do like Calix de la Barriere in the 525.
You really like this one, actually.
I do. I just think he's a good horse. I think he's a better horse than the mark of 125, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, our very generous sponsors is SBK, and they are offering customers at Punchestown today. You can get a €60 in free bets when you place your first €10 bet. Terms and conditions do apply, and please do gamble responsibly. And for the 342, the SBK Mayor's Champion Hurdle, they're offering a 20% winning boost for the race, so you can get 20% more winnings on your horse of your choosing. Give him more. That's a good initiative, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Lap it up.
You probably have a bet. You probably have an account already, so you can't get those other free bets.
No, closed a long time ago.
They closed you down, did they?
I wish they did.
Well done to Dave Jennings, and of course, thanks to Ross Millar for joining us. Hopefully, how was your tips? How did they go yesterday?
Unbelievably. Punchestown is usually a disaster for me, but it's been a brilliant week so far. So long may it continue.
How's your bets been going?
Thursday was good. Friday held my own. Finished with a flourish.
Okay, so they're going well, these two lads. So I hope you got them. They'll be around the grounds. You can catch up with them in due course. But a big thanks to David Jennings and to Ross Millar for being with us. To remind you, it is Family Day here at Punchestown. We'll be heading down to the reserved enclosure area towards the events centre very shortly. Our junior reporter Jack McCardle will be testing out all the hurdy-gurdies. We might have to go with him as well and see what they're like.